Okay, guys, this is something now I figured that I needed to talk about because it just dawned on me. One of the things we have to think about when we are coming to, I guess, it's any third world country is how developed certain infrastructure is, right? So, education here is not the infrastructure surrounding it, accountability issues, all of those things, in my opinion, based on what I've been exposed to through my granddaughter, based on the condition of the actual buildings, educational buildings, especially the government owned, not up to the standard in Jamaica at all. But this morning I visited I can't say West Union. I wanted to get some money from a client in Bahamas, and their system, sending money out of Bahamas is an entire thing, right? Through my daughter's client, we had to explain that some persons don't understand. So because they're sending money from one country to here, you have to think about how do you access funds. If you're in the US, it's different. To some extent, Canada, because I've received money from Canada, and all I had to do was give the friend my account information, right? And it went straight from their bank straight into my bank account. The US, you have a few, services and apps, so Remitly and some others, and you go straight to Momo. But there are some persons who don't want to download an app, and that now can affect how easily you get money here. I am collecting some cash from Western Union. This is the third time I've gotten money through Western Union, and it's not like in Jamaica where you just go to a Western Union outlet. Here, the banks are in charge of that, various banks, and the banks. I visited one bank, GHS, no, not GHH. GCB, I think the bank was. The name is changed. When I went there the last time, I was called using that name, Ghana Commercial, and they said the name has changed. But formerly Ghana Commercial, I've used that bank 2 or 3 times, and the process to get your money through from the Western Union is kind of ridiculous. I am now at another bank in Cape Coast, Prudential. When I asked about Western Union, I was directed to another bank, and they ask you for your GPS. For those persons who don't know, when you get here, I don't think Ghana, Accra is different. When you get here, you must know, once you buy land, what your GPS location is. Your GPS location is needed for your Ghana card, it's needed for your resident permit, and it's definitely needed if you're trying to access funds through Western Union, through the bank, right? So you fill out their form, and it takes ages. They verify you through your Ghana card. After they have verified it through your Ghana card, and that process, they take your picture, take your Ghana card number, take a picture, and do whatever. Then in this case, they verified us twice, right? After they verified us, we took it to this other lady, and then the lady had to be there doing, I don't know, but she asked for whether or not we were Jamaican. We showed her on the form that yes, we were Jamaican. After that, we still had to put exactly where she was born in Jamaica. Even though we had the GPS location written on the form, they still asked for. Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, you notice different clothes. my storage ended that day and I didn't finish it, so I'm just gonna add this part to it instead of just putting up that part, which I do sometimes. So I was explaining that even though they had asked us for our GPS location, and I explained already what the GPS location is, they asked for a landmark. And the landmark, no, we thought the nearest village would work, except even though we gave them the name of the village as the landmark to Lion of Judah, they asked for something else. Personally, I don't think they know the area at all. So whether we use the palace as a landmark or the village, it wouldn't have helped. And I don't think it helped. And then, in a general way, I'm realizing that many Ghanaians, they live this side, like Cape Coast, anywhere this side to the castle. They don't know much about other areas, right? So it's not likely that you give a landmark and they'll understand where you're talking about. But the whole issue that I'm trying to get you to understand is it's not as easy getting things there. Different areas have different processes. So if you're in the US, it's not so bad. At the same time, things are changing in the US, and it's not so easy and it will get more difficult to getting your money from the US. Remitly, I use my Remitly, and it sends money directly to my Momo. I'm hearing that JN money transfer is coming here to Ghana, and that could help. But too, how things are processed here in Ghana is different from how things are processed in Jamaica. So overall, don't come expecting that the processes that are used to in Jamaica, Canada, US is the same thing. It's gonna be slower here. It's gonna be more complicated, and it can be frustrating. I've learned patience over the years. I just watch them process the thing, when you put your mind elsewhere and just sit and accept. That's what I've learned to do. But for persons coming, please sort those things out first. If you intend to visit, even if you intend to visit and you want to access your funds in the US, I know that it is said that you can use your card, whether it's your credit card or your bank card, for a short period of time here to just process for contact sales. If that is still the same, you can let me know. I know that was what I was told when I was coming. But I know after the longer you're here, the more difficulties you will, because what they are seeing is that money keeps coming off your card in Africa, whether it's Ghana or Nigeria, Kenya, it is, and the continent is full of scammers, right? That's the narrative. So once they keep seeing funds moving from your account, whether in Canada, UK, or wherever, you're being scammed. In Jamaica, in fact, my daughter recently tried getting some money from a friend there, and she went to the Western Union. I was told that they don't send money to Ghana, right? It's on some list. It's on other lists in other islands in the Caribbean. And what that means is specific banks are the only access points for your cash from certain islands in the Caribbean. I've had occasion to speak to persons who have accounts frozen from the UK because they are accessing their funds from here, from their accounts in the UK or Canada or even the US, right? After a while, I couldn't access funds from even though I set up my Remitly from the US when I was there and sent funds here to other persons. When I came here, I added myself as a recipient. What that meant was when I transferred money from my account in the US, I could get it directly into my Momo here as a recipient here. But that true, after a time the bank started blocking it. So right now I can't. And what I had done was allowed my my cell number to go dead, for want of a better term. They locked it down because I just stopped paying it, and that's still biting me, because there are other things in the US that I'm a part of, and if I'm to get funds, Amazon sending money to my account, whatever, it's now not so straightforward to get it. Davia had an account there and they shut it down recently as well, and she didn't maintain her number, but she maintained her email as a contact for Zelle and all those things, and she could get money from her account even long beyond I could, right? And I had my cell phone number longer than she did. So there's a number of things you have to think about when it comes to accessing funds here. Any questions you have, feel free to ask. I don't want to make this video so long, but I figured that I needed to add to this video so that you could get the full extent of what I wanted to share about your money getting here. It's not straightforward, and that expectation you have to understand coming here, whether you're visiting or staying. Of course, it gets more complicated the longer you're here, and if you're moving here, way more complicated. All right, this is Michelle again in Ghana, and I am just sharing my experiences as someone who moved to Ghana. It's over a year now, so that's good, and I'm settling in okay, and I'm making progress. All right, see you again in another video.